Yesterday I was out for a hike and I found my first ever morel mushroom. There were a bunch out there, but I decided to only pick one and see how I liked it. And yeah, it was really tasty. So I went out again this morning and got a decent collection. The way you can tell it's a real morel and not a false one, the head of the mushroom should be directly connected to the stem and it should be completely hollow. You don't want to pick the wrong thing. You could end up very, very sick or in an alternate dimension. I'm going to soak these in some salt water for a few hours to kill off the bugs and we'll fry them up later. So while we're waiting on that, I'm going to get the slow cooker out. I wanted to make some birria, but I couldn't find any of the correct peppers that I needed up here. So I basically took the simplest recipe that I could find. I made it even easier and I changed it around. I added some vegetables into it. So I don't know what I'm making. This is like a birria inspired minivan taco of some kind. I already know what I'm going to be eating for the next few days. Just gonna load all this in now. I don't think this is gonna fit. I think we're gonna need a bigger crock pot. And we're all set to go. Alright, while we're waiting on this, I'm probably gonna start driving west real soon. There's a few different route ideas out there that I wouldn't mind trying. The weather forecast looks kind of iffy, but I've got more than enough food here if I gotta wait a couple days. My slow cooking is done and my morels are washed, so I'm going to mix up some flour with pepper, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika. Cut these in half and give them a good coating. You gotta cook these things about 6 minutes per side. They have poisons in them and it's the cooking process that breaks them down. That's part of the reason why I only had one yesterday. I wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna get sick. Sometimes with these wild foods, you gotta build up a tolerance to them. It's really good. It tastes like fried chicken skin with like a slightly mushroomy undertone. It's got the same kind of texture as chicken skin too. I'm gonna park right here for the night. Mount Calsol is over there somewhere. Hopefully it clears off and we can go for the summit tomorrow. If not, we play the waiting game. There's a bear right over there in the bushes. I'm gonna have to protect the crock pot at all costs tonight. Some of you might remember this cabin. I was here not too long ago. It is a nice one, but I'm gonna stay out in the van tonight. I think it's gone. I'm going to start loading up my tacos now with some beef, onion, peppers, mozzarella cheese, lime, but not those carrots. Don't worry about that. I'm using corn tortillas again. I'm not feeling too hungry tonight. I think 2 will do me. I don't know how mosquitoes are getting in here. They never did before. They must have found a hole somewhere. That turned out pretty good for a quick improvised recipe. I'm curious to know what the authentic thing tastes like now, but I'll probably just eat the rest as a soup, to be honest. I just don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't think it's going to fit inside my cooler. Nope. Well, that'll work. Starting to clear off a bit. Can almost see Mount Kelsall up there. Hopefully by tomorrow the clouds will be gone. We can go for it. I tried to drive my van down closer to the lake, but those roads are way too much for it. But this is a totally acceptable place to spend the night. I can live with this. I'm gonna get my bike out and my fishing pole, head down there, see if I can catch something. I think I'd be able to bushwhack up to the mountain there. It's not so bad, but I'll bring my raft. I think it'd be more enjoyable to do it that way. It's hard to tell how tricky it'll be to scramble up there. And that glacier, it reaches all the way to the summit, but I don't think I have to travel on top of it. The satellite imagery is really amazing in some places. You can actually zoom in and make out tiny details like this. Well, I woke up to another rainy day here, so I think I'm going to pack on up and head on out. I got a few different route ideas elsewhere. Maybe I'll have better luck with the weather there. I'm kind of like right next to the ocean right now, so all these clouds just keep blowing in. But I'll report back in when something real is happening. Alright, I think my patience has finally paid off, and I had my last slow-cooked meal yesterday, so now's the time to do this. Got a good weather forecast, so I'm going to try for the summit of Mount Cairnes. It is higher than that last one I did, Mount Archibald, but I've got no information on this one. I had to get creative and come up with my own route. Starts out with 11 kilometers of biking down to a stream that I don't know if I'm going to be able to cross it or not, but there's only one way to find out. And if I can make it across that, then I got about 11 kilometers of hiking up to the summit. And I don't know about that either. It looks pretty steep from here. I'm worried about scrambling up that ridge line there. On this side, it is super steep, but my fingers are crossed that it is more gently sloped on the other side, and I'll have a good surface to scramble up. But I'll just go as far as I safely can. If I can get up that, then I got to get around that first little peak to arrive at the summit. I don't know if this is gonna work. There's a little parking spot right up there, but I'm gonna drag for sure on this. I'm trying to aim my Alberta license plate away from this road as best as I can. There's been some stories of people being rude to tourists. This is the result of opening my door for a minute to get my bike out. I can't even stop for a second. I just get swarmed by mosquitoes. And it took me a long time to get my act together this morning. It's 11 a.m. now. I should have been on the trail like 3 hours ago. This trip is longer than my Mount Archibald trip, and that took 12 hours, so this could easily take 14. But it doesn't really get dark here, so if I don't get back to the van by midnight or 1 a.m., it's not a problem. This trail is drivable. I mean, if I had a narrow 4x4 van. I just wish there was like a compact van like the Delica with a V6 engine, 4x4. I wish there was something like that available. It seems like if you want to get 4x4, then you got to get a big V8 engine with it. This stream is not so bad at all. I'll have no trouble getting across this. I thought I was just going to leave my bike here and start hiking, but the ATV trail, it continues along, so I'm going to keep pedaling around that bend there. I got to hop on a different drainage up to the mountain over there. This is a really cool trail though. Glad I found it. If I don't reach the summit, at least I can say I had a good bike ride. I just stashed my bike back there. That trail continued along in that direction. It looks like some people have some mining claims. They're doing some prospecting out here. But I just have to follow this stream up for about 5 kilometers. I hate hiking in my sandals, but I'm probably gonna have to cross this stream about 100 times. Gonna leave a few things behind here. Won't be needing my bear spray up in the mountain. Haven't seen any signs of bears out here though. It's like they all hang out next to the roads. The summit is under the clouds right now. Please, 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 clear off. Ah. So far this has been alright. Archibald is a lot more difficult, but maybe I shouldn't say that yet. I still got a long way to go. It's 4 o'clock now, still haven't reached the summit, so it's definitely going to be a late night getting back to the van. I don't know if I'm going to reach the summit or not, to be honest. This is that first peak I got to get around to reach the real thing. I don't know if I can go up through there somehow, but I'll do what I can. I just got view of the real deal here, and it's too extreme for me. I'm gonna call it quits here. I'm satisfied with this. From looking over the drone footage, it looks a whole lot less intimidating from those other angles. Just that one cornice along the top ridge, I don't know if I could deal with that. But I'm going to stick with my decision to turn around. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I mean, I got a really long way back to the van from here. This is almost a 2-day hike, to be honest. You can just almost get a peek of Mount Logan there, highest mountain in Canada. And down there is the Cascawalsh Glacier. We got Pinnacle Peak and Mount Hubbard over in that direction. I'm not sure which is what. I'm back on the bike. It's 10:30 now. Probably be close to midnight by the time I get back to the van. Just about midnight. Made it back. I'm exhausted. See if I can get my bike back in the van without bringing 1,000 mosquitoes with me. It's a 12:15 now. I probably could have spent the night parked back there, but there's just way too many mosquitoes in that area, so I'm headed back over to where I was for the last 2 nights. It's out in an open field, so there's just a nice breeze to keep the flies away. But that's gonna be the end of this video, so thanks for watching, and thank you to Patreon supporters, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm trying to paddle up around the bend here. There's a spot where a creek drains into this lake. Might be a good spot to catch a trout or a grayling, but there are some big fish in this lake. I'd be afraid to snag one of those. It could turn my yacht into a submarine. These guys out there making YouTube channels based on fishing, congratulations. I don't know how you do it.